Morning. We're about to get dressed and film some bits. I need to include hair products into the let's get dressed video. So we have our other camera set up there, background there, outfit over there. Okay, let's get on and film. Trousers. Polo. Polo. You can see too. Don't forget to press record. Bits that nobody sees, like to get those close-up shots, so to get like a second tripod and take all that out. Get a decent height. Take this camera off this tripod. Always turn your camera off before changing the lens to make sure the sensor stays as clean as possible. Put a 50mm lens on because it's a tighter shot. Onto that. And then spin that around so you can get the same POV with a tighter angle. Make sure it's level. Let me step back, check the framing, everything's good, record. And then you hear the lid go back onto the bottle, but we need to lower the camera in order to get that. Need to lower the camera to get the lid going back onto the bottle, because there's no point in the sound being there if there's no visual. So 50mm still on the lens, but back on the other tripod, then we can record the lid. And I actually forgot two scenes there already. I forgot to do the zip because it's actually still open, and I forgot to do the tabs, so we'll do those quickly. I'll do the tabs first because the 50mm is on the lens. The 50mm is on the camera, not the lens. Oh, move the mic. We won't do a close-up of the zip because people get really annoyed when I do that. So, and you know what? Maybe we'll do it just to piss people off. People call it like a cock shot or a crotch shot, so that's what they're getting. So now, timepiece. What time is it? 11:28. Timepiece is this one from Earnshaw. I never know the names of them, but I think on the Earnshaw site they still have a Damien's Picks part where you can click that and it'll show you all the ones that I have, or most of the ones that I have. Yeah, this is what I'm wearing today. Come on, focus. Struggling. Use the ND. For our timepiece, we go with this one from Earnshaw. I've no idea how that shot turned out. There's potential for that shot to look absolutely terrible. Exposure, but we're just gonna roll with it. Come on now, why aren't you focusing? Ladder Rain from Soul Engraver. And that's all the detail close-up shots done. So now we can go back to the wide lens. Just that. And then I need my jacket, my glasses. Without a jacket. Pocket square. So I just want to get a close-up of the glasses going on and then cut back to wide. So this is going to be an unnecessary like change of angle for essentially one shot. But we gotta do it. I have no idea what the sound will be like while on the skateboard, and I'm not using the shotgun mic, I'm using the onboard mic with a little wind shield thing on it. But anyways, we're on our way into the city. We're going to meet Matthew for lunch first, and then we head to our meeting. We're in Bray, so just waiting on Brendan to come pick us up because the shop is a little bit away from the seafront here where we get off the train, so it'll just be a minute. We're running out of juice, we're almost home, but we're almost out of battery. I really do not feel like pushing this thing up the hill, plus we're going to the cinema tonight. I'm gonna see Challengers. I know it's old news, I know you've probably all seen it before, but I've not seen it. I'm a bit behind the curve. That's at 8:30. It's now 7 o'clock. So I have to get in, drop my bags in, quick little turnaround, get to the cinema. Fingers crossed this does not die, because I do not feel like pushing this thing. Come on, girl. You can do it. Get me home. Literally just around the corner. One corner to go, and we've made it home without having to push at all. Final turn. Checkered flag. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That was Ethan's bike. Now, before you tell me about your new cards, where is your bike?
There.
You sure?
Huh?
Where's your bike? Under the window?
What?
Where is it?
you want to show you where it is?
Over here? What the fuck?
What's your language?
Oh,
What's your language?
Bro!
I saw it. Go get your bike. Give me your cards so you can cycle the bike.
I'm alright.
Fun. I'll hold them.
No, I'm alright.
I'll hold them.
Oh, I'm alright, I said.
Okay. If you fall, I'm gonna laugh.
Okay.
2 hands on the bike.
No, 1 hand.
In the dentist, we have a consultation with the cosmetic dentist about doing my bonding, redoing my bonding, my veneers. So that's what we're doing today. But it's also Friday, so we have Q&A day, and I've prompted Q&A on my Instagram. So after my appointment, I'll get to answering those questions. Back again in this familiar little walkway just out of the dentist. We're numb on the top half because the fangs are no more. The fangs are gone.
Way too close. You could have scored it now.
Guess so.
If you hit hard, it's gonna go like flying.
Oh, what a save. What another save.
The anesthetic has wore off. We can move our face, feel our face. We're all good. Yes, fangs are gone, and we won't be getting them back. We're just going for a normal aesthetic smile. But now, on to the Q&A. So Max Stewart says, my style is more Western, born and raised in Texas. How would you style that? I don't think it's a case of how I would style it. Look, I think that is a style in itself. It's a style that I actually really like. It's not a style that I think I pull off particularly well, personally. But it's a style that I do really like. I think it looks unreal on other people. Philly Fitter says, do you want to have a family one day, children? Absolutely. Like, I think I said it on an Instagram thread thing about like jealousy being subjective. So somebody could look at my life and be like, oh, I'm really jealous. Damien gets to do this. Damien gets to do this. He gets to travel. He gets to do this, X, Y, Z. But then I could look at a man that has a beautiful wife, beautiful children, has a home, and I look at him and go, that's all that I want. Lara, I'm not even going to attempt to butcher your last name. So Lara asks, do you prefer older or younger women? I don't really have a preference as long as the age gap isn't too substantial in either direction. Ren asked, what's your favourite scent? Probably Cappadocia by Memo Paris. Osmitios by Acqua di Parma or Tabahon by Creed out of my own collection. But in general, something that I don't actually own, Italian Leather by Memo Paris is unreal. Connor, I hope I like the coffee that I made you. Connor, I did like the coffee. And somebody else asked about the coffee, about it being foamy. It's a macchiato, so that's why. Tia Gonzalez says, do you have a pet? If you do, what kind and what are the names? So I don't particularly have pets, but where I live in this family home, they've got 2 dogs. They've got Jasper and Daisy. There is lots of questions about Karina, which I'll get to because there's a few different ones. Vegeta Kana, I think that's how you say your username. Where are you moving to next if you're not in London anymore? I'm not sure where my next permanent move will be. There's business to be done here in Dublin. I travel a lot. A lot of my travel this year and last year has all been work related. I'd love to travel a little bit more for myself, for pleasure, for meeting friends, seeing new places, seeing new people, photography, all that sort of stuff. Not sure where I'll call home in the future. Potentially Ireland, who knows. AJ Moz asked for top 3 to 5 colognes. I think I just mentioned my favourites, and I think I mentioned 4 or 5 of them, so there you go. Tad Quebec, I follow you for many months. I still don't know where you live. So much moving last year. So last year I lived in Italy and London. This year I lived in London, but Ireland is always home, always. So despite how much we travel and spend either like 2, 3, 4 months here, 6 months here, whatever it is, we do move around a lot, but Ireland is always home. Stay mad, little bitch. What a username. Says, what is your daily routine? So my daily routine changes every day. It's one of the things that I'm so lucky to do what I do, that my routine changes so often. Like, well, to a degree, like I do something different every day in the grand scheme of the day, but generally, like, I'll wake up, I'll go to the bathroom, come down, have a cup of tea with my sister. We'll chat through the day, get some business done out of the way while we have a cup of tea. Then I'll do like my skincare and like get a shower, pick an outfit for the day depending on what I'm doing, or if it's been pre-planned, I'll already have an outfit planned depending on what I'm doing. And then yeah, generally I'll record my Let's Get Dressed video, I'll edit that, I'll airdrop it to my phone, then I'll go and do what I actually have to do. Yeah, and then in the evening time it's basically the reverse of that. So you come home and get showered, changed, do skincare, brush teeth, all sit down and watch Netflix or whatever it is. So yeah. Take Sada says, how are you lately? Honestly, I'm doing good. Things are very exciting at the moment. There's a few things in the pipeline that are long-term projects, but they're very, very, very exciting projects. So I'm doing good. Dar_4.0 says, how many tattoos did you get, and are you in a gang? So no, I'm not in a gang. The police don't even know who I am. I've never had any run-ins with the police. I've never even done drugs or smoked a cigarette in my entire life. I didn't drink alcohol till I was 21, so, you know, like, I'm not a tough enough guy to ever be in a gang. And I have about 60-something tattoos. I just like tattoos. I just like how they look, and I like how they look on me, so nothing to do with being in a gang. Zaruk Hansen, where do you live, and who's your inspiration? I live in Dublin, Ireland. I do travel a lot, but this is where I do live. And my inspiration, I mean, I get inspiration from a lot of different people and a lot of different places. Music, film, other creators, like some photographers that I follow that do a lot of like cinematic kind of stuff. Yeah, get inspiration from lots of different resources. It's the beauty with the internet, is inspiration is at your fingertips. Lisa asks, why don't you speak about Palestine more on this platform, i.e. my Instagram account? So I was having a conversation with somebody about this yesterday, and I think a lot of people really overestimate like how much power someone on social media actually has. Yes, there's a lot of people that follow me on social media, but they follow me for a 60-second fashion video, and this YouTube channel is a prime example of that, because if everybody really cared as much as you think they do, I'd have 1 million subscribers on this channel already, and I don't, because those people like coming to my Instagram account to get their brain tickled for 60 seconds for a fashion video. And that's not the reason I don't speak about it. I don't speak about sex, I don't speak about gender, I don't speak about politics, I don't speak about religion, I don't even actually speak about fashion. I don't tell people what to wear, I don't tell people what's on trend, what's not on trend, I don't tell people what the next big thing is, what the trainer of the summer is going to be. I don't tell people what to buy, I don't tell people any of those things. I literally just showcase what I'm wearing. It's essentially a direct documentation of what I'm wearing each day. So my entire platform on Instagram and TikTok is essentially opinionless. I don't tell anybody what to do. I'm just showing you what I'm wearing each day. The reason I decided to keep all of those things, race, religion, gender, sex, politics, any of those things, the reason to keep all of that off of the platform was the world is a shithole. It's all over the world, not just in Palestine and Gaza, what's happening there, in Ukraine, in Somalia, in the Congo, in the Dominican Republic, and that's only some of the conflict zones. Then you can go to like the flooding that happened in Dubai, the floods that happened in Brazil, and that's only mentioning just a couple of natural disasters, tornadoes hitting across America, hurricanes. Like, that's the tip of the iceberg. And anytime I speak about anything on my Instagram page, I get inundated with, well, what about this, and what about that, and why don't you give attention to this, and why don't you speak about this, and why don't you speak about that, and oh, you care about this, so therefore you must not care about this. And frankly, I'm not a news page. I'm just some person who gets dressed and documents it and puts it on the internet. Me sharing my personal opinion on any matter that is a global scale is not going to change it. Israel is not going to stop bombing Palestine tomorrow if I turn around and say I'm in support of Palestine. That's unfortunately just, like, social media just does not have that power, and I would rather my platform be escapism for some people. It's not about me picking sides. I don't think they're like, I had an argument with somebody online yesterday about this, that like there's no winner in war, there's only losers, and there's only atrocities, and there's only massacres. And it's not about me picking sides, it's not about right and wrong. I think humans should stop killing other humans, and unfortunately social media just doesn't have the power that you think that it does. It just doesn't. Me and lots of, like, I don't consider myself an influencer, as I said. I don't tell people what to do, I don't tell people what to buy, but me and many others have actively stopped working with brands that are on boycott lists and stuff like that for those reasons. That's the only way that we can actually actively impact what's going on. Me sharing stuff on my Instagram story for, you know, it's unfortunately it's not actually going to do anything. So we can only give energy to things that we can control, and that's what I choose to do. Nola asked, or Nola actually messaged me after the last Q&A and says that I think her friends call her Jazz or Yaz. But anyways, she asked, what is the most valuable feedback you've ever received? And I get lots of advice from a lot of really incredible people that have, you know, built amazing businesses and give me really good business advice, and I'm very lucky to call them friends and everything else like that. On an Instagram thread talking about hate and getting troll comments and stuff, and somebody said that there's a Yankees baseball player called Reggie Johnson, I think his name was, and he was asked about being booed by the crowd, and his response was, well, they don't boo losers. Out there trekking, said, what exactly do you do for a living? So I do social media, so Instagram and TikTok. I do YouTube, which I'm putting a lot of effort into this. So I do social media, and I also co-own a clothing company. In a nutshell, an entrepreneur. So it's kind of like a diverse portfolio of like social media, which is my own thing. Then I co-own a company and then invest in other companies. Robin asks, is there anywhere in the world that you dream to travel? India, Iceland, Norway, more of America, South America. I'd love to see like Brazil. Brazil would be amazing. Cuba would be really cool. And then all the west coast of America. Like I really love like the outdoors, so like anywhere where there's mountains, so like Colorado, Washington, Portland, obviously California has mountains, like some national parks like Yosemite and stuff, so any of those places. What is something you do differently than anyone else that you know, and why? My outlook on life. So I get asked probably every day how I'm doing. Sometimes that's like a rhetorical question. It's more like being polite, like, oh, how are you? And I always reply pretty much the same thing. I always say that I'm great. I don't say I'm good. I don't say I'm grand. It's never like a passing, you know, response. It's like an emphasized, I'm great, I'm smashing, life is lifing, life is unreal, and I'm speaking that into existence. I'm telling that person, and I'm telling the universe, and in turn telling myself that I'm doing great. That question was asked by GI Funk, by the way. The next question is by Juji Pants. What's your favorite season of the year? So like autumn is probably my favorite. It needs to be dry though. And there is tons of this question, and I don't normally get them in my question boxes, but it's because she posted it on her story. And there's two different types of people. I'll put the screenshot of what she said here, and I'll put the screenshot of what I have said here. So that goes back to my mindset and how I speak about myself, how I speak about others. A lot of people are asking, what happened between you and Karina? Did you and Karina break up? What happened with Karina? So I'm not going to go into nitty gritty details. He done this, she done this, blah 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 blah. I don't think that benefits anybody in any way, shape or form. I think we tried to make things work. I moved to London for a bit of work, but also to try and make things work with her, because we thought there was a lot of potential there. We get on really well. We have a lot of things in common, absolutely. Our lifestyles also differ in some ways. I travel a lot for work, which means that I'm not always in the same place, whether it be like Italy, whether it be going to America, and particularly going to somewhere like America. Unfortunately, Karina is a Ukrainian refugee on a refugee's visa, which means traveling, particularly outside of Europe, is not as easy. Particularly if you're going to countries like America, who, you know, are very strict borders, things like that. So that's not the reason that we broke up. I only speak highly of her, and that's the way it shall remain. Because when you're in a relationship with somebody, when you're intimate with somebody, and I don't mean that way, I mean when you're close to somebody, you learn things about each other, and those things are private. And despite how much I share on the internet of myself and my life, some things are private. So to answer your question, yes, we broke up. There's probably a multitude of little factors that come into the why, probably different stages of our lives. I think for me to like put a broad perspective over the whole thing, I think our end goals were very, very different. My end goal is to get married, hopefully have kids, live in the countryside, have like a nice house with a nice garden that I can have like dogs and kids running around in, and live a quiet life. Karina likes the city. She likes to go out and party with her friends, and she likes to do things that I don't particularly like to do. So realistically, if we don't share the same end goal, what's the point? What's the point in anything? You wouldn't get into business with somebody when you both want to achieve two different things, right? You wouldn't invest your money into a business if your business partner didn't share the same business goal as you. A relationship is no different. Why would you invest your time in something when you both want different things? So that's that in a nutshell, really. And yeah, this is the first time I've ever addressed it. I've got asked it in comments and stuff before. As you can see, I've commented back to somebody on a reel. I've commented back, and all I did was speak highly of her. I've never addressed it the way I'm addressing it right now, and I definitely wouldn't address it the way she addressed it on her Instagram story. Yeah, that is your answer in a nutshell, and I shall not be talking about it again. That segues us onto our next question by Miriam. I think that's how you say her name. Are you single? Yes, but I'm off the market. I'm not interested in dating anybody right now. I'm focused on me. I'm focused on work. I'm focused on this YouTube channel. I'm not focused on dating. Aim asked, what did Longines do to make you hate them? So I don't particularly hate Longines, but I don't respect them. I don't respect them as a brand, and I don't respect their practices as a brand. And I've never told this story publicly, but I'll tell it now. Right. So, as you know, this year, just last month, or earlier this month, I went to the Kentucky Derby. I also went to the Kentucky Derby last year. That was my first year going to the Kentucky Derby. And you may know that Longines are the official time partner for the Kentucky Derby. They're also the official time partner for like the Melbourne Cup and probably Ascot, and I think most of the horse racing for that matter. They're even the Galway races here in Ireland. They're the official timekeeping partner for that too. So they basically have the world of horse racing sewn up in a pretty bow. There was me, the Irish. There was Lydia Millen, and her husband Ali was her +1. Then there was, I think Francis was his name. He's a French influencer, and his wife Agatha, if I remember correctly. So there was like 4 of us on the trip. Me, Lydia, Francis, or was it Nicholas? Francis or Nicholas? And his wife, anyways. The 2 French influencers, Lydia as a British influencer and me as the Irish influencer. We'll exclude Ali because he was a +1 and not included in the 4 influencers and not particularly included in this story, so to speak. We all had separate hotel rooms, obviously. Well, I did. The married couples stayed as married couples in their own hotel rooms. We also all had private drivers. So me and the French couples, we were staying in the same hotel, but we had 2 separate drivers to bring us to and from Churchill Downs, the racetrack, right? So the reason I'm telling you that is the brand had multiple opportunities to do what they done privately. What they done was this essentially. So we're sat at a round table. If you can imagine, a round table is a clock. I'm sitting at like say 6 o'clock on the table. Lydia is sat at 12. Ali is sat at like 2 or 3, so kind of like in between us. And then the French couple are at like 8 and 9 on this round table. I'm sat here, Lydia sat there, and the French couple are sat here. And as I said, Ali is there, but he's not part of what's about to happen. So the PR comes down to the table with 3 Longines watches in Longines boxes, obviously, and gives one to Lydia, gives one to Francis or Nicholas. I'm really bad at that, I can't remember his name, and Agatha, his wife. So the French couple get a Longines watch, Lydia gets a Longines watch, and I get told, sorry Damien, there's no watch for you. To caveat that, I had a picture of my own personal watch on my Instagram story and was asked to take it down because it clashed with Longines being the official time partner, despite them not wanting to give me a watch. Now, I know because I'm heavily tattooed, there's going to be certain brands that see themselves and their ideal customers in a certain way. And I might not fit Longines' preferred aesthetic. I get that. The issue is it should not have been done in bad taste in my face. They've just been put into their goodie bags in their hotel rooms or in their cars waiting for them on arrival. Like, I can afford to buy a Longines watch if I want. I'm not gonna, ever. But it was just done tastelessly. Okay, that concludes the Q&A and concludes the vlog. As I mentioned in the previous video, we do have a shout out from the comments. Today's shout out goes to Kai. I hope I said your name wrong. I hope I said your name right. And he says, aloha from Hawaii, like bucket list location, by the way. I'd love to go to Hawaii one day. He says that him and his girl loves watching the vlogs and the Instagram and the TikTok, so really appreciate that. I hope you and your girl enjoy many more vlogs, and I really appreciate all the support. So thank you so much. Stay blessed. You absolute legend. On that note, folks, I'm going to edit this and get it uploaded, and I'll see you in the next one. We've got a bit of a busy day tomorrow. We have a brunch in the Woody Fox, which will be lively, and we're meeting our business partner to grab some samples off him to be photographed for e-commerce. So busy day on a Saturday. So I will catch you tomorrow. Remember to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the like button. Share this video with someone who you think will like it, and I'll catch you tomorrow. I love you guys. Goodbye. Ba 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 ba.